Alright guys, I'm back to normal uploads, no more robot voice, whatever you want to call it. But I am back guys, and I am uploading a new video on the tropics. Once again, for the first time in a little while. But here we go guys. So as we know, Delta is now post-tropical and is now dissipating over the United States of America. I know I didn't really track it too much, and I've just been extremely busy, so I do apologize for that so much. But thank you so much at least for getting me to 90 subscribers. We're still on a goal to hit 100 before the end of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Now, as we know, Delta did end up going a little bit like this and hit the same, like just east of where Laura hit, and is now moving through land. It did make landfall as a Category 2 right here. Made landfall as a Category 2 also right here. So both of Mexico and Louisiana they just really got the best situation, because we were looking at a Category 4 landfall for Mexico, winds of 155 mile per hour. And then we were looking at a Category 3 landfall for Louisiana, and then both of those ended up being Category 2s, thankfully. But now we are moving our attention into this new tropical wave designated NVEST 93L, which has a 20% chance of forming as it generally moves northwestward. This tropical wave, which isn't too typical to have that in the main development region in October, but it's saying that subdevelopment of the system is possible during the next couple of days, but then the middle of the next week. So once it gets to about here, they're saying it should become unfavorable. Now, some models take it into the Caribbean, others shoot it up north. And then if we go even further out, some models go like this, some models go like that, some models go like this. So then it kind of splits. But there is actually a chance that this could develop pretty much in this area here, because some models kind of take it up north and develop it somewhere around here, but other models take it around here, develop it in the western main element region. So there's a pretty good chance that this actually stays through and ends up developing anywhere but somewhere, at least after the Dominican Republic, where conditions will become a whole lot more favorable. If we look at the system right now on the IR loop, as you can see, it isn't very organized as you would expect from the system. But either way, it is getting fairly sheared, but the possible center, I guess you could say, is just south right here. Down here is where it is currently located, with that scattered thunderstorms and showers located to the northeast of the system. And it is, again, generally moving northwestward, but it does look like it's really beginning to organize, some more convection blowing up, less scattered. So if we're able to see this wrap around a little bit more and maybe some close center able to form, we could see this potentially develop into a weak tropical depression or tropical storm, but at the moment remains unlikely. Alright, so this is this GEPS model guidance, and as you can see, we are having this again move, and then this model actually then shoots it up north a little bit if we take the consensus. Now, as you can see, once again, most models keep it very weak, but then actually strengthen it. So a couple models here shoot it up to the north here, strengthen it actually into a hurricane. And then some other models bring it more this way. So from this model, we're having a little bit of a split, something like this. But every single of those models actually show it become at least a tropical storm in this area. And this is what I think really odds are increasing for Episode. I think that's going to be the name, forming in this general area. Look at here, 970 millibars here. We got a couple models here showing in the 980s. A couple models showing in the 990s, the 1000 coming over near the Dominican Republic. So definitely some potential, but definitely past the 72 to 100 hours mark. This is the GEFS model guidance, and this one actually showing something a little bit different here. Instead of showing it shoot up north like this, the GEFS model actually shows it pretty much continuing to head due west into the southern Caribbean. Now, conditions are going to be unfavorable there for the time being, so we're not likely to see development where if it went up north, we could have been seeing development. We're not really likely to see development in this area because conditions are going to be unfavorable, but as it gets towards the western Caribbean over there, this is where we could be seeing some better conditions. But if we do continue this track, it does look like maybe they're trying to show it actually continuing to shoot north, or just go that way, which is possible, but maybe a little bit of a weaker track, Although those models are a little bit more in agreement, where on this model run they're kind of all over the place. So we're just gonna have to see, but still keeping it around 1011. Some slight strengthening from 2013 to 2011 in the next 24 to 48 hours is definitely noticeable. So definitely something we're gonna have to keep a close eye on. Alrighty, so now looking at the actual, what it's looking at, we're having a high pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico right now. Um, and then we're also having two tropical waves here. So this tropical wave is the one with a 20% chance right here. And this is, again, the one that's going to be moving generally north or northwestward. But if we kind of look at what we do have going on, we do have a low pressure that's going to be coming up here. And then we have this high pressure here and another high pressure here. So what this is going to build up to is actually the tropical waves either going to get pulled out by this high pressure here, or once again pulled towards this. So this is why the two possibilities, if this high pressure still stands true right here, we may, like the GFS, one of the last model GFS showed it going like this. So this is because of the high pressure which would push it. Now, then we have this high pressure. A couple models actually showed this getting pulled by this high pressure like this, or getting pulled near that low pressure more generally like that. So if that makes sense, really, we're going to have to see. But this high pressure will definitely steer it towards southern Florida if it does come through here, which is likely will turn like this. But if it does take a more northerly track, it would either steer it towards eastern or actually just completely back out to sea. So this is kind of where we're looking at, but definitely something we're going to have to keep attention in Florida. It looks thankfully unlikely that this will go in the Texas, Louisiana area. But if we had to say impacts anywhere from really the North, South Carolina, and Florida could be seeing impacts, as well as the Caribbean. We're also tracking one tropical wave. In the one tropical wave, pretty much making its approach into land, kind of connected to that monsoon wave, and another tropical wave moving through the Caribbean. Also, and we're also gonna have to track that because it could interact with that low pressure now moving off the coast of Southern America. Alrighty, so now if we look at actually the wind shear we're having, because National Hurricane Center does know that wind shear will become unfavorable. And to be honest, I don't really agree with them because this system is currently located right here, and it's in 25 to 30 knot of wind shear, actually 30 to 40 knots of wind shear. So it's already an unfavorable wind shear, which is where all that cloud cover is located to the northeast of that. But as it moves throughout, it will potentially actually go into more favorable conditions, even if it goes a little bit north here. As it enters the Caribbean, it will be entering 10 to 20 knots of wind shear, which is definitely more favorable than 30 to 40 knots. So definitely something to keep in mind. The wind shear stays similar to this, and we see a track like this, we could definitely be seeing some development, especially in this general area. And then wind shear will also start to decrease here, as you'll be able to see. So again, something to keep in mind. All right, now we're going to be looking at the models for this. So here is European model valid for today. And as you can see, here's that low pressure system I was talking about here. This is that low pressure system coming off the coast of South America. Okay, so as we go through, here is that tropical wave located right here. This is that tropical wave moving through. And then we're going to be seeing if the European models does show any potential development with this as we bring it up a little bit farther. The only reason I'm doing that is just to see where things are better. So again, here's that. Not a close center, as you can see on this specific model run. We're getting easterly wind, southerly wind, but no close center yet on that specific model run. Although, as we get into the next couple of hours or days, actually, as you can see, it actually does start to kind of weaken. And again, no close center does form on the European model. Although it does kind of shoot up north a little bit more, but still no close center. It does look like it may have briefly acquired some tropical characteristics here. So potentially on the small run, it may have briefly became a tropical depression. But as you can see, it then opens back to an open wave here. Now, as we get again, it then opens back to a tropical wave and then kind of looks to dissipate out. And then, like I said, it does end up dissipating. And then it just kind of dissipates. So as you can see, really, its chances on the European model, its best chances would be in this area where National Hurricane Center has given it a 20%. Now, if we look at the GFS, though, on the other hand, it's going to be showing obviously something a little bit different. Already, GFS actually shows somewhat of a close center by tomorrow, so definitely already a stronger system on the GFS model. Although, we're going to have to see. But GFS does show a little bit more of a close center of this specific model run, of course, but not much strengthening. Potentially a tropical depression, but really nothing higher than that. And actually kind of weakens it, but remains with a potential close center, and then once again weakens back to an open wave. So once again, chances really for development as the highest. Basically, it's like right here. So the best chances for it are in the next 24 to 48 hours, which is really what the National Hurricane Center is saying. They're saying after the Leeward Islands, National Hurricane Center is saying this is where it could develop, and really model seems to be agreeing with that, at least for now. Because as we look at those models, they're showing a really similar outcome, and then it kind of just completely dissipates out. As you can see there, it just kind of dissipates completely. Actually, it really just completely dissipates out, and then actually kind of connects to this low pressure, merges with this low pressure, and this is where we actually go ahead and see our potential next cyclone. Alrighty, so again, we're going to be seeing this potential next cyclone here coming through and actually moving potentially into Florida. So definitely, basically what the GFS is showing is a low pressure emerging from here, as well as a tropical wave coming through here.